Hey, Simon here, founder at Icybull. In this video, you will learn how to make a stock tank that you can get in Amazon, in Tractor Supply, or other stores into a Icybull cold plunge with an insulated sleeve, filtration system, sanitation system. It will be able to keep freezing temperatures even when outside is 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It will be able to keep itself clean for months on end because it has ozone generator as a sanitation system and a really good filtration system. It's quiet, which is also good. As you can see, there is very little noise and all the systems are running, and you can control the speed of the flow of water. It has a river mode such that you can really feel the flow of water when you are inside and really get cold quickly. So in this video, you'll learn how to make this into the Icybull cold plunge. So what's included in the kit? We have 3 insulated hoses, one large, one medium, one small. We have a submersible light. We have 2 bulkhead fittings. We have this to open the hole for the bulkhead fittings. We have 6 zip ties, 6 clamps, all this plumbing. We have an ozone generator for water sanitation. We have a GFCI adapter for safety, the cold plunge hub where everything will be connected to. We have the Icybull filter to filter the water and remove impurities. We also have the chiller, which is in this box over here. And then we also have the water pump, which is right here, with a speedometer with different modes from boost cool to river mode. Additionally, it will come with this sleeve here. It comes 2 of them, one outside main sleeve, one interior underlayment sleeve. We call it underlayment, and a main sleeve with the one with the logo. Also, the spa cover is here. And finally, we have those tools which are likely not going to be included on your kit. You need these tools. I'm going to include links where you can get a drill, this wrench, Sharpie marker, and scissors. Very basic stuff. This is all you will need. So the first step is going to be marking the holes on the stock tank. And for that, we'll need, obviously, follow instructions. But the underlayment we will use as a way to mark the holes for the bulkhead fittings. So we're going to grab now the underlayment, which is the one without the logo. Right, this one. Okay, so you will grab the underlayment, you get this, and do like a 180 to it. You get the underlayment, and place it on top of it. Make sure it fits all the way. And now, you're gonna flip it again. And you'll pull it up all the way. Try to center it, and the holes would go right here. Hole 1, hole 2. You can mark it with a Sharpie. Now you want to remove the underlayment and start drilling the holes. Make sure it's the side without the drainage, not the other side. And now we want to use the drill and this piece here to make the hole. The next step is going to be installing the bulkhead fittings, which are right here. Bulkhead fitting 1, bulkhead fitting 2. And now I would suggest the use of a wrench, just to make sure there's no water leaks. Next, we want to install our LED light. To install this light, you need to first remove the drainage of the stock tank. It's very easy. This is the LED light. We'll go on the drainage. It has this thread. Sometimes it's tricky to thread in the thread, so make sure it's well aligned and flat, so it actually threads in, and it's delicate. So we're gonna flip it so you guys can see how I uninstall the drainage without major trouble. And the way to do it is first you remove the cap, then you remove the nut that is on the outside of the interior thread here. And now the entire assembly will come off, and you will substitute it with this LED light through the inside of the stock tank, and then lift this thread outside, like this. You may want to hammer it a little bit so it goes through the hole. It's a very exact dimension. And now you want to go in and put the nut back onto the lamp. And now you want to tie it as much as possible. I don't think you need to use a wrench. Just make sure it's very tight. And now you're gonna get this wire, go through here, and you're gonna tape it right in here. So I'm gonna tape it right on the back of the stock tank on that side, so it's easier later. Okay, and now we are actually going to install the underlayment on its final position. And now we want to flip the tank and install the hose for the water pump, the first hose, and pass the wire through one of the holes right here. And then this wire can go through this little slit. This is a low voltage wire. We are going to install the first plumbing fitting, which is an elbow right through here, through there. So for that, I'm gonna use Teflon, and then you wanna follow the thread and just Teflon all around it. Now you want to get this and thread it right here. I'm gonna angle it this way, which is where the water pump will be located. Next, we want to get the small hose, smallest one of all of them, and install it right there with one of our clamps. Once it's inside, just tie it up. You don't want to tie up the clamp too much. Also, you can leave the clamp down so it doesn't stick out. And now you want to get the water pump and connect the inlet of the water pump to here. First, we want to install now the main sleeve, okay? So we're gonna flip it over. And we want to get the side without the logo on the other side, right? So, right like this. And this will be the second sort of like jacket or sleeve, okay? We can remove this and this. This we'll leave it on in case you guys don't have a chiller, don't have plumbing, just want to insulate the stock tank. You can leave that on, but in this case, we're obviously not doing that, so. Okay, so now in this step, you can either start zip tying the sleeves to the actual stock tank, but I'm actually gonna do that at the end. So I'm gonna skip this step and start installing the water pump. So for doing that, you flip over the stock tank. Here's where you will access the plumbing, right? So the hose we installed, the wire, everything accessible through there. And now we're gonna go ahead and install the water pump here, which has this potentiometer where you can control the speed of the actual water. It has boost cool, which means lower speed for the chiller to cool down faster, or river mode, where it will go like max flow, like a river almost, because it's a pretty small, powerful water pump. Now we want to install the hose we just installed. We want to place it right in here. And then the larger hole, the hose would go here and go through this hole here. So let's get a clamp. I'm gonna come here. We want to get this hose here and install it at the inlet of the water pump. The inlet is the one that is there, so right there. I'm gonna put it in like this much, and then get the clamp on the side that is touching the actual water pump barb connector, and then just tight it up. You don't have to like over tie it, but definitely good tight. And now this will go right here, okay? But first, we can go ahead and install the other hose, which would be this hose, the longest. Now all this assembly will go inside the sleeve. There's like a bit of a extrusion from the tank itself. The water pump can perfectly sit there. And then this would go out through here. And this hose will go directly onto the Icebool chiller. So now we can install the inline Icebool Venturi injector, which is this piece here. It has these threads which go directly on the bulkhead fitting, and it will suck ozone through here. There is like some suction action going on with this little barb connector. So basically you want to get here and first use a good bit of Teflon, right? You don't have to go all the way through the thread, but definitely 3/4 of the thread completely covered. The more turns, almost like the better, so add a lot of turns. And now you want to install it at this bulkhead here. And make it point upwards, okay? So this way. Add this hose here on there. This is a medium-sized hose with a clamp. Not tight, but not over tight. And now we're gonna install the ozone generator. I'm going to first use this little clamp. And now you want to connect the hose with the clamp. This clamp prevents any type of leak, especially of ozone leaks. So now we're gonna install the check valve for the ozone generator. There is a very tiny, small arrow right here. Make sure this arrow points towards the top. That means air flows towards the top. You can also blow on it. It will blow this way. It won't blow this way. You want the air to go towards the top, so the ozone goes from the ozone generator to the water. The way to do that will be, we want to cut the wire about here, install the valve, and then pass the tube through the slit. So the way to do that, we can actually pass the tube first. You can cut the tube to the desired length. Cut tube, fine arrow, make sure it points towards the water. You can feed it all the way here. Here, so the arrow right now is pointing upwards. And then here you will connect the ozone generator, this part here, and connect the hose right in here. And now there is a small like pocket-like thing on the inside where you can place the ozone generator. And now you have all the electrical wires here, so we can start doing the electrical. Before that though, I would like to do the zip tie process, where we will install zip ties on all of these holes. So you'll get a zip tie and go through all the holes. For the electrical work, everything will be plugged onto the cold plunge hub, which is basically a power strip protected for like water with this rubber sealed little enclosure. So for the wiring, I would start with the light. You want to first find female, male, and then connect this, okay? So it's a little confusing, but you can see that these are the like females of this one. So and there's like a little notch right here. So you want the notch that is here to sort of interface with the notch that it's there, right like that. And then this makes the connection completely water resistant. And do the exact same on here. There's a notch right in there, and there's a notch right in here. You want to align those notches. Now you can actually hide this away. You will need this here, and you want this hose to come out, the air hose, for you to safely switch the lamp on and off. And then this can be hidden on the sleeve itself. And one of these wires will be the ozone, one of these wires will be the lamp. You gotta know which one is which. This one is the lamp, so remember that one is the lamp. This is the ozone. Ozone goes to a timer, lamp goes to a regular plug. And once that's done, you can like zip it down, but not yet. We want to get onto the cold plunge hub here, which, as I said, is just a basic power strip. One thing that is really important is for you guys to connect this cold plunge hub to the included EFCI plug for safety. So it goes right in here, and then this will go to the wall outlet of your house. We want to connect the light to any available plug on the cold plunge hub. I'm gonna do it this way. So in this case, the light can go here, and then you can place it there. We can actually use the same hole for 2 wires because these are very skinny wires. So that's what I'm going to do. And this one here will go to the ozone generator. Let's actually use this slot here. So we have it all connected to the timer. Not all, just the ozone generator plug connected to the timer. This timer here has to be configured. To configure this timer, you can simply remove it. Now, it has a switch here. Make sure it's in timer mode, and then make sure this arrow points to your current time zone. So imagine I'm here in Florida, where it is right now like 12, so you put it at 12 p.m. And now you want the ozone to run. Each of these little things are buttons. Each button represents 30 minutes of working time, okay? So you want to press like 3 or 4 buttons. I'm gonna press 3, so it's gonna be 1 hour and 30 minutes of ozone generator time, but you can press more if needed. And you want at times where the cold plunge is not gonna be used, so that can be at, say, like 12 a.m., right? So right in there. This is how your timer should look like. If you press more taps, it's fine as well. These ozone generators are very well built, and they can last longer durations. And then you want to plug it back in place. Then the water pump plug. So you can actually just place it inside the sleeve. So right here, and have this plugged here. And now the plug can go right in here. And you can control the water pump from here. You can zip all of these wires. And now you can get the chiller and connect it to the one available plug, which is right here. For the light, we're going to use this part and this button. This button is an air pump. You're gonna place it there, place this here, and just tie it up. Next, get the air pump and connect it right here. This will be for switching on and off the light. And it's like a little switch for you to press and turn on the light of the interior of the cold plunge. Finally, let's get the chiller unboxed. The chiller will come with these plumbing pieces. We're gonna start connecting the chiller and finish all the electrical parts. The chiller will go there. And then we can use this plug here. Once you pass all the wires through the little slots of the control box, you can close it up. It has rubber seals where all the wires are, so you can hide them. Now we can start connecting the chiller to the tub. So now we have turned the tub over, took the chiller off the box, and we're going to go to install these fittings. For doing that, we will need the Teflon in each of the threads. You can put a good amount. And now we can place the fitting. We're gonna put at least 30 turns. Next, we're gonna install the hoses onto the Icy Bowl chiller. Once this is done, chiller installed, we can go ahead and fill up the top with water, which is gonna be the next step. So this is the Icy Bowl dial. The way it works, it has different modes, okay? The cool boost, it's where the pump starts to barely work. Flow is very slow, but that will make the chiller to cool down faster. So this is for the initial water cool down, ideal. Then you can increase it to this range, 24/7, where if you have a Venturi, it may start working the Venturi and it's not so much flow that the chiller has to work so hard. And then you have river mode, which you can also use all the time as far as the water pump durability goes. But that in this mode, the chiller will work a little harder because it's a lot of water flow. This pump is very powerful. So you have all these modes. Now it's off. Then we'll go to Boost Cool, which is the slower flow available. You're gonna see the water pump goes very slow. The Venturi barely works, very little bubbles. And now river mode, much more flow. Feels like a river, there is no thermal barrier, so you will get a cold very quickly. This is the Icy Bowl filter. It's compatible with any inflatable, fully inflatable cold plunge or with stock tanks that use 3/4 NPT fittings. This is how it comes. Comes with two adapters. This one is for inflatables. You'll place this at the inlet of the inflatable as if it was a cork, and then it will go here. And this one, which will go in the inlet of the stock tank. I'm gonna show you how in this video. And then we're gonna thread this inside the stock tank itself. It goes thread right in there. And then this will be placed at the inlet, should slide through. And now water is gonna get sucked through the filter and then go through the flow of the water circulation flow. So how do you change the filter, right? We include this mesh here. This mesh, it's for the purpose of swapping the filter only. The way it works is that this is a screen that will collect debris, large debris. You would use this to avoid the cold plunge from getting dirty from the filter. So you would sort of like fish the filter this way. You can close it up. The debris will be right inside it on this bag, right? Rinse it off. And then to change the actual filter, open this up. Here's a little filter. You want to simply remove this, get a new one, and install it. There is also this little mineral cartridge, which should also be swapped. The way to take it out is by simply doing this, getting a new one, and then placing it back in place, right with how it was at the beginning. Make sure you seal it up correctly, and then place this right in the inlet again. And that's the way to change the Icy Bowl filter. Okay, so now we're gonna install this spa cover for the Icy Bowl. It comes in this nice bag with some keys for the buckles to be child safe. which means no one can open it unless they have access to the keys. And now you want to place the top, and you can buckle it, and then it has a key. You can obviously adjust this height in case it's needed, and you can buckle the little thing so a child cannot open it up.